Welcome to the Seven Globe.
The desperate battle between firefighters and wildfires in Los Angeles is now in its fifth day, with more evacuations and high winds threatening more lives and more homes.
The 2025 Los Angeles Fire, a comprehensive look. The year 2025 witnessed one of the most devastating wildfires in Los Angeles history, a catastrophe that left an indelible mark on the environment, economy, and the lives of its residents. This documentary explores the causes, response, and aftermath of the disaster, as well as the ongoing recovery efforts. Chapter 1. The Spark and Spread. On January 8, 2025, at approximately 2:45 p.m., the fire erupted near the foothills of Topanga Canyon. A serene afternoon turned into chaos as flames ignited dry brush carried by fierce Santa Ana winds reaching speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. Residents recall hearing a loud crack as a power line fell, sparking what would become an inferno. The fire's initial spread was unstoppable. Emergency crews raced to the scene, but the rapidly intensifying blaze jumped fire breaks and devoured everything in its path. Chapter 2. The Scale of Destruction, narrator. Within the first 24 hours, more than 50,000 acres burned. By the end of the second day, the fire had consumed over 100,000 acres, leaving behind a haunting landscape of ash and ruin. Entire neighborhoods in Topanga Canyon and Malibu were reduced to smoldering debris, and flames threatened iconic landmarks like the Getty Center. For many families, all that remained were memories and fragments of a life once filled with joy. One survivor, Maria Lopez, described fleeing with only minutes to spare, clutching her children as thick smoke engulfed her street. Chapter 3. Human Cost and Casualties. Tragically, the fire claimed 36 lives. Among them were elderly residents unable to evacuate in time, and several firefighters who made the ultimate sacrifice. Hundreds more were hospitalized with burns and respiratory issues. Visual, photos and memorials honoring victims, and footage from emotional vigils held across the city. The fire's human toll is immeasurable, but so too is the bravery shown. Fire Captain James Williams, leading his crew through suffocating smoke, rescued 5 residents trapped in a canyon. His story of courage is just one of many that inspired a grieving city. Chapter 4. Heroes and Lives Saved. First responders, neighbors, and even strangers became heroes. Volunteer pilots conducted daring helicopter rescues, while ordinary citizens formed human chains to create makeshift fire breaks. One heartwarming story comes from the Mackenzie family, who rescued over a dozen animals, including horses and dogs, from a local shelter. Chapter 5. Environmental Impact, narrator. The wildfire's environmental impact was catastrophic. Over 12,000 acres of ancient oak forests and chaparral were incinerated. Wildlife, from deer to endangered species like the California gnatcatcher, faced displacement or death. Air quality plummeted as thick smoke blanketed Southern California. Hospitals saw a spike in respiratory emergencies, and health advisories warned residents to stay indoors for days. Chapter 6. Economic Fallout. The economic costs soared into the billions. Insurance claims flooded in as families tried to rebuild, while businesses shuttered under the weight of loss. Agriculture, including vineyards and citrus groves, suffered crippling damage. Tourism, a cornerstone of the local economy, plummeted as iconic trails and resorts were reduced to ash. Recovery would be long and arduous. Chapter 7. The Road to Recovery. Hope rose from the ashes as recovery efforts began. Federal and state disaster relief poured in, while volunteers and nonprofits provided food, shelter, and supplies. Rebuilding homes and restoring natural areas required innovation. Fire-resistant construction, expanded fire breaks, and upgraded emergency communication systems became top priorities. The 2025 Los Angeles fire taught hard lessons about prevention and preparedness. Enhanced power grid. Let the wonders of the world unfold before you. Subscribe to the 7 Globe on YouTube for an experience like no other.